What's up everyone? I'm Andrea, your real life English fluency coach, and today we have a great lesson for you to help you become more confident when speaking in English. Now, in case you're new here, I want to let you know that we are here to guide you beyond the classroom to live, learn and speak English in the real world. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell down below so that you don't miss any of our new lessons. So we often teach our students what to do to improve speaking English, but today we're taking an alternative method and we are going to be telling you the 7 things not to do when speaking in English. So we're going to dive straight into the lesson to help you to be more confident and to know about the things that you should not be doing when speaking in English. So the first of our 7 things not to do is don't be too ashamed to speak. Now, this is really important because the way that you're going to improve is by speaking, and I mean speaking a lot. You can only get better with practice, and if you feel too ashamed, so you are embarrassed or you make excuses so that you don't practice speaking in English, you actually won't progress as quickly as you could do. Also, if you tell yourself that you can't speak in English, your mind will actually start to believe you. So it really will hinder your progress. That means that you won't be able to progress further and you'll start to believe what you are telling yourself. So the only way that you will get better is by practicing. And what I recommend you to do is start by practicing small wins. Now, by this I mean doing small things that are going to help you to improve your speaking and to build your confidence. For example, if you're traveling or you're going to a place where you know they speak English, you could order your coffee in English in a touristic place. This way, it's something very, very small, but you're giving yourself that opportunity to practice your English and to build your confidence at the same time. Another great tip, if you don't have anyone to speak to or to practice speaking English with, you can record yourself speaking English. Now, this is a great way just to build up your confidence of speaking and to practice, and you can listen to yourself back as well so that you can pick up on any errors that you've made, and then you can work on those as well. Another way you can do this is by talking in the mirror. It may sound a bit strange or feel a bit funny at first, but it's a great way, again, just to practice your speaking. So either recording or speaking to yourself in the mirror, giving yourselves those positive affirmations and really building your confidence could do a world of wonders. Okay, so our second tip is don't be afraid to make mistakes. Now, in life, mistakes are part of learning. You know, they're a great way to learn, in fact, especially with language learning. When I think of my own language learning, the times that I have made mistakes are the times that I reflect the most, and they are the things that I tend to remember more. So you need to make a lot of mistakes when you are speaking English because it's a great way to learn. People won't judge you for using bad grammar, for example. Honestly, we really don't care. When someone is speaking to me in English, I'm just so grateful and so happy that they are taking the time to learn and to really try to connect with me and have a conversation. I'm not interested in the way that they are speaking. I'm more interested in the communication and the meaning. I'm more interested in what that person is trying to tell me, and it's likely it would be the same for you. So remember that it's not about speaking perfectly, it's just about connecting with people, trying to have a conversation, trying to get them to understand what you're trying to say, and that way you can start to build relationships with people, which is really what it is all about. At the start of your journey, it's more important to practice speaking than learning grammar, because when you do eventually start to speak, you're going to be really thinking about that grammar far too much and about the mistakes that you're making, and it will probably hinder your progress. It might make you lose confidence, Whereas if you start off by speaking and then once you have a basic level, start to learn about the grammar, you'll find that you'll progress a lot better and you can build your confidence up more. It's also really important to note that natives make mistakes too. Don't think that we speak perfectly. I can't explain to you the amount of times that I've been speaking to someone and they make grammatical errors all the time, just because when they are speaking naturally, they tend to do this. So even natives make mistakes, and you should not be afraid to do so either. Okay, so our third tip is don't apologize for your level. And this is a really important one because I will not be offended by someone making mistakes when speaking in English. In fact, I really appreciate the fact that someone is trying, and I don't necessarily speak their language, so the fact that they speak mine is amazing to me. If you apologize for your level, you're not even giving the person you're speaking to a chance to make their own mind up about you or just not even think about your level in English. They already start to make assumptions about your level, and that's really not something that you need to do or that you necessarily want them to be doing about your level of speaking English. Learning a language is a tremendous challenge, and the fact that you have taken on that challenge and that you are practicing and trying to learn English is incredible and should be rewarded. So you should be much kinder to yourself and not try to apologize for your level, because you've probably already come a long way in your learning journey. It's important to remember how far you've come along in your journey and what you have done to get there. You must have worked pretty hard to get to the level you are already at, and you are still progressing. So be proud of that and don't apologize for your level. What you could do, however, is maybe if you explain to the person that you're speaking to that you are learning English and you're really trying, and you show that you're a little bit vulnerable and maybe not so confident with your speaking, they might then actually try to help you. Rather than thinking, oh, this person is not so great at speaking English, they might actually think, well, how can I help them? Or how can I give them more confidence by maybe giving you a compliment or saying well done for trying? This way really is much better because you can be honest with that person. They will appreciate your honesty, but you can still also have that opportunity to practice speaking your English as opposed to apologizing for your level. So please do remember not to do that. Don't apologize for your level. Now, our fourth tip is don't get frustrated with yourself. If you are speaking in English and you get frustrated with yourself, then you'll actually probably block up. Your mind will be blocked, you'll be focused on your anger or your frustration, and it will make you not want to speak, or you'll lose all meaning of what you want to get across. Rather than having these negative emotions, try to be creative. Use your hands, try and use gestures or even objects to get your meaning across to help you. This is a far better way to communicate than giving up or getting frustrated and angry with yourself, so that you can still progress in your learning and learn from what you are doing in those moments of frustration. I know it can be difficult. I've been there myself in my language learning, but it's important to try and stay calm, take a deep breath, and regain your thoughts and just try and think positively and try and think of a different way to explain what you want to say. Take as much time as you need, and like I said before, try and be creative with your explanations. I'm sure you'll still be able to get your meaning across. Another great tip is to reprogram your nervousness as excitement. So Simon Sinek has a great video on this where he's describing athletes and how they tend to take their nervousness and turn it into excitement to achieve great results and success. So you could do the same. Rather than constantly thinking, oh, I'm so nervous to speaking in English, or I'm very nervous in this moment, you can instead tell yourself that you're excited And if you tell yourself the reasons why, then that's a great way of reprogramming your mind so that instead of feeling really nervous in that moment, you're excited at the opportunity to learn or to speak in English or to have a conversation with someone or to progress in your learning. So really keep that in mind. Have a go and try it next time you're out or you want to try speaking in English. Train your brain to not be nervous and instead be excited. Wouldn't it be great to learn English without getting lost and without getting bored? Well, now there is. With our Real Life Native Immersion course, we will take you on a 41-week real-life adventure of the English language. Each week exploring a different topic related to our goals to help you understand and use real native English and making it a permanent part of your life in a fun, natural and convenient way. And the best part is you can try it right now for free with our 3-part Power Learning series. All you have to do is click up here or in the description box below to learn more and sign up now. Now, let's get back to today's lesson. And our next great tip is don't take it personally when people don't understand you. So this has even happened to me. I've met people or I've had comments from people that are so used to hearing the American English accent and they don't understand the British one as much. And even I find it difficult to understand some native English accents too. For example, very strong Scottish accents I find difficult to understand sometimes as well. So it may be that the person you are speaking to has not really had that much exposure to different accents, and that could be a reason why they are struggling to understand you. It could be other reasons as well. So in that moment, the most important thing that you can do is to focus on speaking as clearly as possible and really focusing on your pronunciation as well. This way, the person you are speaking to has the best chance of understanding what you're trying to say, and that way you won't get offended, you won't take it personally if they are not quite understanding you, but you're still taking responsibility for the fact that they can't by speaking clearly and focusing on that. So tip number 6 is don't compare yourself to other learners. Now, this is really, really important because everyone is individual. Everyone has a very unique journey on their language learning and in other things in life as well. So it's really important not to compare yourself to others because you don't know what their journey has been like so far. You don't know how long they've been learning English. You don't know what they have done to get to the level they are at. And learning a language is really difficult, so you need to be proud of where you are at in your journey right now and be proud of what you have achieved so far. Don't compare yourself to others and start to feel upset about it. Think of how far you individually have come on your journey and use that motivation to keep going, to keep progressing, and to keep fighting through any barriers that you come across. Also, if you encounter someone that has a more advanced level than you or that you think speaks better English than you, use that as motivation to work harder or to find different ways of learning that's going to help you to progress and get to where you want to be. Also, remember that everyone has different strengths. So other people will have different strengths to you, and maybe language learning is one of those. I've met many people that tell me they can speak many different languages, and I'm always amazed by that. But then they tell me how they learnt those languages, or maybe there's something in their family that motivated them to learn those languages, and I don't then feel so bad. I actually feel grateful for the fact that I can speak a few languages and feel proud of myself, and it should be the same for you as well. In any stage of learning, be it language learning or being in primary school or high school or at university, you are going to encounter people with different strengths. You are going to make friends and meet people that can do lots of different things, or that maybe are better than you at something, but find something that you find easier more difficult too. So it's important to remember that everyone is different. Everyone's journey is different. You need to be proud of yours. You need to feel empowered by that and use it as motivation to progress. And also take inspiration from others rather than comparing yourself and getting frustrated by it. Okay, so we've made it to number 7. The next thing not to do when speaking in English is that if you think you're fluent, don't get too cocky or arrogant. So this is not the best approach. It's not good to think, oh, well, I've already learned English, I don't need to practice anymore, or I don't need to speak it anymore. This will have a negative effect on your English. And it's really important to remember that life is a journey, not a destination. So you are never at the end. You never reach your destination with English language learning. No matter what fluency means for you, you still need to practice, because if you don't, if you get too cocky or you get too arrogant, you may find that your English will get worse. Being arrogant can also make you lazy, which is never a good thing. Always remember this phrase: if you don't use it, you could lose it. And that is really important when learning a language, and it's very, very true. If you meet other language learners, if you're too arrogant, you may then sound condescending. And it's important to go back on your journey and just remember where you started out and what you had to do to be at the level that you are today. So don't get arrogant when speaking to other people. See if there's ways that you can help them if they want to be helped. And remember to keep practicing, whether it's small pockets of time each day or sometimes in the week. It's really important to keep progressing. You could even think of a new target for yourself as part of your fluency in English so that you don't stop. Remember, it's a journey. Another great way to think of this one, instead of getting arrogant or thinking that you've already learned English, you could teach it. So by teaching others, it's a great way to really cement what you have learned, and that could take you to the next level. Always remember that no matter where you are in your journey, there can always be another level. For example, in English, I don't know all of the words in the English language. So there are times where I'm watching TV and I have to look up a word because it's something that I haven't heard before, and I'm a native English speaker. So imagine where you are on your journey, there is always a next level that you can reach. If you're enjoying this lesson and you want to hear about what Ethan and I discussed about this topic, then why not check out our podcast? You'll find the link in the description box below, and we have many other great podcasts where you can learn a lot more about English and also some tips on how to improve. So there you have it. Those are our 7 things not to do when speaking in English. And I really hope that you enjoyed this lesson and that you can learn from those tips and apply them to your English language learning. If you did enjoy this lesson, please give it a thumbs up down below so that we know you want more content like this. And if you enjoy learning English with TV series, movies and music, then head over to our channel Learn English with TV, where we have some incredible lessons for you to choose from so that you can progress further in your English language learning in a really fun way.
Now let's jump into this list of 6 incredible books for your English and your life. All right, so the first book that I have for you on this list is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Now, this is definitely one of my top books ever. Now, if you want to be more successful at anything, you should really consider reading this book.